It's National Baked Scallop Day, which means absolutely nothing. Welcome to Analytics Are For the Nerds. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
What is your day looking like right now? Like
just Philadelphia cream cheese.
So my wife asked me to stop singing Wonderwall all the time, and I said maybe.
What does a nosy pepper do?
What?
It gets jalapeno business.
Need it forever. She had a life, Louis. She's a person. Not about you, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's something we're grateful for.
She didn't understand inflation. I got $5 for every Christmas in fucking 1984. It's 1994.
You hang out enough. You copy each other's facial hair and the double mustache and that is fucking gross. So welcome.
I do want to be clear though that I have earned one, and Lou is depressed. There's a big difference. Lou is still trying to convince 16-year-olds he's cool, and they keep telling him they don't want weed from him. They can get it from anywhere. So, there's a difference between mine and his.
Yeah. Factual.
Great pick. Hello, everyone. Ryan, welcome back. It's great to see you. Louis, nice new glasses, and happy birthday still sign up. We love that.
Yeah. I'm leaving it up till either she turns 5 or I turn 50. So it's going to be there for a while.
Well, welcome, everyone. So how's everyone's week going? Good? Yeah, decent?
Yeah. I'm better. It's been a better week than last week. I'll say that. Last week was a rough one. I'm on the mend.
Good.
How about you, Red?
Good. Yeah. Listen, fun time of year with the news of the teams and everything shaking out. So I'm already ready to talk football. And Allie's like, no, we're not talking football yet. We got to get to our other stuff. Just don't get to the football stuff yet.
Yeah. I'm like, haven't you guys the new Kate Hudson show is on Netflix? Come on, guys. There's so many things to watch other than. Well, we also have college basketball on right now, which I love. So the Big East, Big Ten this weekend. So let's talk basketball. Hello?
I'm
no?
good.
Check
good.
1, 2. All right. So we will talk a little sports, and we will also not talk sports. I'm surprised you guys haven't wished me this yet this month, but it's Women's History Month, everyone. Yes.
I was going to tweet it out on Women's International Women's Day the other day. What was that? Was it just a few days ago? And I was going to tweet it out from our account saying, hey, let's wish. But you know what? You already are very, you draw a lot of attention away from the rest of the podcast already. I feel like it's women. You know what? It's like how I tell my family members with Christmas. With me, you get Christmas every day. And I don't need to celebrate you every day because you get the best me every day. I treat you like gold at 365 days a year. So I don't need for one specific day to be like, Allie, you deserve this because I treat you great all year round.
I will say all I wanted for my birthday was one of those things where
big booty. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, not really. My SpongeBob ass needs something special. I just when people tag you on an Instagram post and they're like, "You're happy birthday, queen." Like that's all I want. It never happens. It never happens.
Oh, next year you're gonna get. Best. It's going to be all your ugliest faces you make during the podcast. It's going to be like a fucking, it won't be a very long video because you don't look ugly often, but I'll catch every bit like this right there. Like I just snapshot that, like that one right there. I'm going to get that. That's going to be part of it. But be ready for your birthday. I don't know when it is, but I will figure it out and I will it was recent. It's been within the last 3 months. Yes,
December. So
there you go.
Just made it.
Just made it.
December. Yeah, I'm a leap year December, so
Right.
it's every 4 years. Okay, so let's talk a little fun facts that'll really bring everyone down. Before 1973, women were not allowed to serve on a jury in all 50 states. That's crazy. All right. Okay, no, I'm joking. Okay, but that is true. It's a true fact. Okay, so here's a football fact.
I was just about to turn on a WNBA game.
Come on. Oh my gosh, our viewers. It's not WNBA. Lawrence Taylor.
Oh God!
Not
You
even
can't go to women's rights to Lawrence Taylor. You can't do that. Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm sorry. And I'm also recovering or developing a very bad walking pneumonia, everyone. So I apologize if you're listening. Lawrence Taylor does not remember being drafted by the New York Giants because he drank 41 Coors Lights that day.
Well, wait a second. I need to know what number he was. I mean, there was definitely some beers before he was drafted, and then probably a lot of beers after. I mean, he's not beer 41 when he's getting drafted. He's probably beer 20, 22.
Or like 6. I mean, yeah, we should really see what time of day that was. But
41.
Yeah, 41. Quick math, how many cases? Yeah, Louis like, I've done that in Bills game.
I'm not even I know that I've done close to 30. I think I've done. I mean, I'm not bragging. I mean, not any time recently. I was I was probably like, but like the day the tailgates where the drinking games got out of control, like Flip Cup, or you ever play Boom? Boom is like a game of disaster. It's just I think one 10-minute game of Boom one time I drank a 12-pack, and I'm not even joking. So I'm not saying that it's healthy or that I remember any of that day. But yeah, I could see 41 beers. Lawrence Taylor, boy. Andre the Giant used to throw back like 60, right? Is that the story?
Something. He's a big guy. And well, so is Lawrence Taylor. But it's like going to the bathroom, I feel like it's such a waste of time. So that like 41, I'd be like, can we just stop? Like
and he was on so much cocaine too. There's no way. When you're on cocaine, it's like you're drinking it like it's water, It's and like I don't know that from experience at all. I'm just saying I've heard people, I've watched people. I watched the movie Blow.
I have who starred in it?
Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz, right? So, and Pee Wee Herman. And man, I could say a lot of different. I love that movie. That's one big movie. I love that. That's like one of my favorite movies. Sorry.
I did go
the fat dude from My Name Is Earl. Who's that?
John Goodman.
No, his friend. What's his friend? Tootsie or Turtle or Johnny? What's his friend in Blow? The dude that's like his right wing man. He's got a weird name.
Wow,
all right, you talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to look this up.
You don't even have. Oh, let's. I'm sorry again, guys. Walking pneumonia. I just think John Goodman's a good one. So I know we are on a bunch of different platforms where we have this QR code here on our screen. We're on YouTube. We're on X. Speaking of X, Elon Musk has lost $132 billion in the last 3 months, which was actually after my birthday. So my birthday was 4 months ago, Louis, but that's $132 billion. Like, what a bummer. Does anyone want to say anything just because maybe he'll feel goofy?
Wait, I called the guy Turtle. His name was Tuna. So I know, I was close. I was in the fish category. They were both in water.
Turtle is not a fish category, but
whatever, dude. They live in water. There's nothing. I mean, that's an insane amount of money. It's probably lunch for him, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't probably really hurt. But yeah, anything that hurts him, as we are saying, we're on X and produce. I'm on it all day scrolling during free agency, so maybe I shouldn't shit on him too much because I'm using his product. But I don't mind seeing billionaires lose a couple bucks.
Yeah,
The
it's great.
closest thing that I've ever gotten to losing $132 billion is having, I think, like 40% Blake Corum last year in best ball. That was the equivalent of losing $132 billion.
100%. That's funny.
A new study shows that sperm cells carry traces of stress experienced by the father. So, if you're feeling goofy and then you let out some steam and make a baby, that kid is going to feel it. But it's mostly from childhood stress. So, if you are thinking about having a kid now, but you're like, wow, my childhood sucked, your kids are going to feel that. So, anyone want to talk about how their girls?
Wait a second. You're saying we transfer our anxiety through our sperm? Is that what you're trying to say?
That is
Brian, I'll
indeed.
let you answer that first. I don't. I gotta.
It's like my
think
girls
about
always
this.
dress up like the Frozen girls. They're happy. And
Yeah, I guess if they're ever stressed out, I only have myself to blame. So I don't know. I mean, now I feel like now just knowing that fact would mess with me more. I'd be like, oh, I can't stress about this, but now I am stressing about it. It'd be terrible. It'd be a horrible thing to be thinking about. So I don't know, Lou. What's your how was your stress level?
I
at that
mean,
time?
we had an IVF baby, so there was zero chance she didn't get all of it. Whenever like they mix it in really good. They mix it in like cake batter. They like so I so like I think she's got it all. I mean, she obviously you've seen it. She's got my nose. Yeah, they that's really crazy. I wonder if it's not so much from like your childhood or your genes that it transfers, but what if it just transfers the exact stress you're feeling at that moment?
Wow.
that makes me feel a lot, because I was in a stressful situation when I made her. It wasn't fun and sexual. I was in a 8x8 cubicle watching one of the 8 scenes that they left me on a 4-inch computer, and they're knocking on the door. You done yet? We've never had anybody take this long. I'm like, Jesus, leave me alone. I'll be right out.
Louis door dashing food to the room. Like, you can't hang out here. You got to get out.
I got my feet up. They're like, are you even jerking off? And they're like, no, man, I'm watching TV. I'm hanging out. This is the first time I've been away from my wife in months. We're doing this shit. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
It does say a little background. A new study suggests that fathers may carry traces of childhood trauma in their sperm cells through epigenetic changes. The research examined sperm from men exposed to high stress in childhood. The study analyzed 58 individuals, focusing on DNA methylation and small non-coding RNA, adding to growing evidence that life experiences may be passed to future generations through epigenetic markers. So,
all right, now let's have Louis read that segment.
Hold on, let me spell epigenetic.
Remember when I had also a little throwback Wednesday? We just lost 3 viewers. Joking. When I had to read those promos that we were the A to B marketing, and we were like,
had no clue. I could let me, what was it? Say that word again. Epidemic.
It is epigem. It's EPI.
Oh, let me tell you what, I was going to try to spell it. You just ruined it. Okay, well, whatever. You gave it to me. I really can talk about this more than we should, because my whole thought of it is, if that's real, then it keeps going back, right? So like now I have a little bit of my great grandfather's childhood trauma. What was that? Fucking like having to go hunt for food like at 3 years old. It's a little bit I'm gonna do some studies here. I'm intrigued.
He saw a family member get eaten by a wild boar. So it was very it wasn't like therapy back then for this kind of stuff.
I know. I'm intrigued by the study. I want more. Anything that anything that studies my sperm, I'm in for it.
I did find on 23andMe that they can find like a past genetic ancestors. So they found like Vikings and like someone from Kazakhstan. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, but no one from like, it's only from people from like 1400s and on. It's like no one very, very old. So my trauma is just food related, which makes sense. And then still on keto. And Just I don't know, feeling poor.
I think 23andMe's just they have like 1,000 templates, and they just use those templates, and then they switch it out to 1,000 people, and they make sure that none of the 1,000 get to be in the same region, so no one talks about it. But the same people like, oh, you have a Viking as your. I just feel like they just have templates like, oh yeah, you have a Viking version, and then Ryan would have a Norwegian. I don't know what Norwegians do. I was like, I think those guys were Vikings too.
Like they swim. No, they're like a genetic marker though. They'll say like the gene that is in that person is also similar to my DNA. So it does make sense. You want to talk about the sperm more? Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, let's
talk about more sperm. Okay.
Let me give you another Women's History Month stat, guys. Did you know?
I thought you had one. I was intrigued.
We could do.
Give me one more. Give me one more.
Okay, before 2018, breastfeeding wasn't legal in all 50 states.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's coming. Yeah.
I it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think? No, I'm trying to. What is the biggest? This is probably an obvious answer, but like, what is the reason that it was so late to those other states? Like, just because of indecency, like having your boob out? You think that's it?
People are afraid.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Women have it bad.
You know. Now, do you feel bad for not just even wishing me a happy birthday?
I think I wished you happy birthday. I didn't give you the full video. I'm sorry. Next year I'll give you the full video.
This year, my birthday will be this year, so you're good. All right, but that's what I've got this week. If we are going to talk about the free agency frenzy that just occurred this week. It's always fun to see our new drafts and who's being moved where. So let's get into it.
All right. What do you what are we talking about first?
Let's do all the free agency. Like, do you want to do a little what happened in the trades?
Well, let's start with guys that have like been.
Oh, let's do it. I got this. Let's do this. Guys who have gained the most value this week. Let's do that first.
Okay.
All right.
Who do you want to start with, me or Ryan?
I'm going to give Ryan because he leaned in.
Thank you. That's my signal that I'm ready to go. So I have to get in here first because I don't want Lou to take this one. It's a very special pick, near and dear to my heart. My number one pick of guy who gained value is my boy. Everyone knows he's my boy, Najee Harris. I famously love Najee Harris, but I have to admit, he has a secure role in a run-heavy offense, and he hasn't missed a game in however many years. And I know he's not going to have like the super high upside. I don't see that for very many games, maybe a handful. I think they have the perfect setup right now, the Chargers, to draft like one of those lightning running backs and pair him with Najee, and they just run the shit out of the ball. And I think he's in a great spot. Three other guys just quickly. Bowers, obviously, with Geno Smith going there. I mean, I was not expecting or Las Vegas to have an upgrade at quarterback this offseason and maybe go to a rookie. And now with Geno there's some stability. Devontae Adams going over to the Rams. I absolutely love that for his outlook. He's going to jump, 15 to 20 spots in ADP. And then last one, it's a guy who I think gained value, but still might be shot. Javonte Williams. I mean, he's now, at least again, the second option in the Dallas backfield, depending on who they draft. And, probably is going to get a steady handful of touches. So he jumped up a couple of rounds of ADP.
Great. Lou?
Dude.
You can't say anything that Ryan.
Well, one, I hate that he just stole Najee from me. But can I just tell you something I noticed the other day? So I literally, while Ryan was talking about Najee, I totally I got distracted on my phone because I didn't want to hear any of the bullshit coming out of his mouth, because all he's done is shit on Najee for years. And you don't think he has a ceiling? I think he's a top 10 back this year. I really do. I think he's that good. I love the spot for him. It's great. and I finally was off of him, to be honest. I didn't think he was going to luck out this much, so I wasn't drafting him that much. Now, like, he can't rise up boards enough for me. I know that sucks at a lot of people. I don't usually like to try to chase risers, but he's not even going up high enough yet for me. Anyway, so I was distracted, and one of our friends, Mrs. Lane, I don't want to say, had just texted me about something comedy related, and I realized I shit on her like a couple weeks or a couple days ago, because at 7:00 in the morning I got a networking like event from her, like a text, and I was at 7:00 in the morning, and I wrote back at 7:30. I go, "What do you want me to go with to you with this or something?" Like, LOL. And she wrote back kind of rudely, was like, "No, just let you know that there's a networking event." And I was like, "Okay." But then she just texted me, and I was like, "Wait a second, where did that networking thing go?" And I just realized I said that to a customer. Like, a customer sent me the networking event, and I was like, "What do you want me to go to this?" I literally just noticed that while, and I'm gonna have to send that apology text when we get off. But just another funny story in my life. Sorry.
That's the story that I
that's
told you on our walk.
Oh
about
my God, that
we
you're
will talk about
yes.
that.
So
Yes.
we both have had texting
Ooh.
errors in the last couple days. So I'm gonna have to start doing better with that. No, Najee's a great answer here. I hate going a homer, so I won't say Joshua Palmer, but I do think, like, obviously the guy wasn't getting drafted, and now he at least deserves to be, up in the probably anywhere from like round 13 to 15. But I'll do the Ryan Mura thing here. I'll pick a couple guys. My number one is Evan Ingram. Like, I think, him landing in Denver, especially for as much as we do with tight end premium and stuff, like, he becomes a real top guy this year. That's a great spot for him. And I guess I could use Aaron Jones as somebody. We were going to talk about a few players that kind of, quote unquote, survived free agency, but because he was a UFA and ended up, re-signing, I'm going to kind of put him in as the winner, because I really thought he might be done. And I think he'll face some competition there. They'll probably draft a guy, but I think he has another decent year in fantasy ahead of him. So I'll say he's a winner.
All right. Good picks, guys. Who would you say would be some players who lost the most value? Ryan, do you want to go first?
Obvious one is Metcalf. I think, a lot of people are going to say that. I'm still taking him. I'm not, fully off of Metcalf, because I do genuinely think there's probably like a 75% chance that they trade Pickens. And if that's the case, then you're looking at whoever's at quarterback is going to probably feature Metcalf as a target hog in a concentrated offense. So, he's not a total loser for me, but I can see why, he's certainly not worthy of being like a late second, early third. And he was rising up there before the trade. Two other quick ones. CJ Stroud. I mean, what are the Texans doing? I mean, their issues last year, I thought, were mostly attributable to Bobby Slowick, offensive coordinator, and then their offensive line. And what did they do? They got rid of Slowick, but they've now just dismantled their offensive line. I don't know what their plan is for that. And then Olave is my last one. I think unless he gets traded, which is still, there's a chance, I guess, of that, the Carr coming back there just really doesn't excite me. I mean, I understand he can produce a fantasy wide receiver, one, and he's done it in the past, but I'm just kind of over that. It doesn't move the needle for me anymore. So I think those are the three losers that I have.
I think Carr is, I hate him. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think he's probably one of the better options Olave could have ended up with here with what they had left. Like, they were going to either get, name your Carr equivalent or go rookie. And I'm not ecstatic with any of the rookies. So I don't want to buy the wide receivers on any of these teams that the rookies go to. So, like, I don't know. I hate Carr. I can't believe they're running it back with him like it seems like they're going to. But I think it's not bad for Olave. So I'm going to kick back on you on a little bit of that. But I digress. I just like arguing with you. my biggest thing's going to be Malik Neighbors, and I know where like we don't know where they ended up yet, but it ain't going to be good. It's not going to be good whether it be Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or a rookie. Like, I think he's one of those guys that can ball out anywhere, but he is really, I thought that there was a real good chance that he ended up with Stafford or a big upgrade because of the situation the Giants are in, but it doesn't seem like it's going to go that way.
Tell me how, based on any of the options that are rumored to go to New York right now, that he's any worse off than he was last year with that collection of quarterbacks. He had 170 targets. And I know it's, with Tommy DeVito at quarterback. I mean, they were scrambling and had nothing. I mean, now you're talking about maybe Rodgers, maybe Wilson. That's way better.
I don't think it's way better at all, but it's not a bad point that you make. And I've always made the point that I don't come off of top wide receivers too much, especially even with shit quarterbacks, because I feel like shit quarterbacks sometimes funnel to their top guy. But I almost feel that way more so about the lower level Tommy DeVitos of the world compared to like, I just don't think Wilson might be good.
Aaron Rodgers gets there. He's not going to pepper Neighbors with target like he's Devontae Adams. I think that happens. He's not bringing his buddy this time. He has no choice.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm big in on Neighbors, and I was drafting him so far like he was. I was sold on the fact that was Stafford's spot. So I think that might be part of the reason why I have him on this area is because I had him like getting the nuts, and now I feel like that's dropped off a little bit. The nuts meaning the best, Ellie, not balls.
Squirrel, I get it, squirrel.
But so that, and then I'll say an obvious, and this hurts me personally, but Anthony Richardson obviously has to at least. I mean, he was already like 24 or 25. It's not like you're going to get much value out of him now. He might drop to QB 30 probably over the next couple of weeks, but I still think he wins that job. Even though I told you guys that Daniel Jones would be starting games this year, I will still say that Richardson ends up on this job. I just think it's so dumb. I think it's Irsay too. I think that they feel like they need to like give this kid a challenge ahead of him or something like that, and want him to overcome shit. And honestly, let's talk about this on this podcast. Like, I love Pat McAfee for the most part. I know a lot of people can't say he's hit or miss or this or that. I cannot stand what he's doing to this kid. Like he's talking around in rumors about how this kid's felt, but he won't say it. All he will he'll just hint at the fact that he's not liked in the room and they don't love him, this and that, and he's all this stuff. But like, come out and say it. Who's talking things? Who's saying it? They're giving this kid zero chance to succeed. And I'm not saying that he's good, but they have fucked him up so hard.
I'm going to have to push back on this one too, because I don't see it as a loss when the organization says that you have to do one thing, and you have to do the thing you have to do is beat out Daniel Jones in a quarterback competition. I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. I probably can do that. Like there would have been, again, it's like there are way worse options out there, I think, as far as like competition goes, or like a bridge quarterback. Like imagine if they had just ponied up and signed Darnold. I mean, Richardson's traded or he's done. I mean, so now I agree with you that he's going to win the competition. That's why I have him in the survived category. But I see your point. I understand your point.
And oh wait, one more, right? What are we doing?
Yeah, you want me one more? Because you guys, I don't want you to break up your friendship over this. Which players who have survived the first week without direct competition being added so far?
All right, I'm going first because I know I'm going first, and I know I might be stealing Ryan's this time because it's the direct opposite of Najee Harris. But Jaylen Warren, definitely won this week, and he might, like you said, get a little bit of a competition through the draft. But They signed Gainwell and right. Is that
Yeah.
Gainwell go there.
Yep.
And that pretty much says like he's going to be their third down back and Warren's going to get a chance to be the guy. I haven't seen it. A lot of guys that I respect and follow them better than I do, more than them, like his game. I do not think that he is going to be anything more than the max that he's been, but hey, he survived this first week, and I think he's at least worth clicking on now if he doesn't jump up too much.
Here's a guy I'm going to give 2 running backs. First, Chase Brown. I mean, I wasn't really worried about any of the running backs coming in and necessarily taking his job, but the fact that the Bengals have not signed anybody tells me that, yes, they're going to potentially draft someone, but if it's round 3 or later, I mean, wheels up for Chase Brown. He's going to get 75% of that backfield then. So if they avoid early draft pick, Chase Brown is going to be probably a second round pick when it's all said and done. And then Chuba Hubbard. I mean, Rico Dowdle doesn't scare me. He was probably already positioned in the mid 40s with an ADP of the mid 40s and 50s, locked in as the starter there, but he survived the week. So good for him.
Sweet. All right. Let's do that. Oh, your mic is off.
I was talking such crap. I was like, that sucked. Your last horrible. All right, so we're going to talk about the big board recap. So last week we drafted a big board. All right, shall I say Louis did while we were on the podcast, Ryan, you were out. But what you missed last week was me talking. You ever see people like talk on a date and then one person's really disinterested?
It was so that. It was so that. It was so that. I mean, at least Chris was there, but like still, and I'm gonna blame both of them, Ryan here. I don't love this team. It's just Allie was just blah 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 blah, and I was like, I get it. We're doing a podcast. Chris is here. Talk to him.
This is what, let's also be real. Let's be real. This is Louis on a podcast. I'm going to draft people and not tell anyone or describe what's going on verbally because not because a podcast has nothing to do with listening. So let me just type and not say anything. So I did well. I did some updates. Now, Ryan, you stuck with us through what? The first 6 rounds, you remember?
Yeah, 6 to 8, yeah, something like that.
We started with Jahmyr Gibbs, and we were in the 4 spot. Gibbs, we got back to Bucky. We were both on board with both of those, excited to start that way. We come to the 3 spot. We get McLaurin. You wanted McLaurin. I hated it. And then I was going to try to switch. Allie was going to switch. She took too long. We got McLaurin. DK Metcalf, that was before the trade, right?
Yep.
Yep, before the trade. I didn't mention this when you were talking about Metcalf. I do not think he lost value. I'm not saying that he gained a lot, but it really depends on who Pittsburgh ends up with here. But I don't think Seattle was the best spot for him. I think JSN was starting to emerge as the number 1. So at least here, I think he's the clear-cut number 1. So I'm fine with that. And then we end up on Olave. I think we both came to that. I was fine with that. Matthew Golden in the 6. We jumped over guys like Jennings and Jaden Reed, Kelvin Ridley, whatever. We end up getting Pearsall in the 7th. I love that. I think Pearsall ends up being their number 1 this year. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, he looked really good at the end of the year, and he's a first round pick, so why not?
And then we get back to ETN Jr., which I think you were there still for.
Yeah, that was, I think, the last.
I think that was it. I think that was the last. Come back. We get our first tight end at Tyler Warren in the 9. I don't know. You sure you weren't there for that part? I think we were strong on running back because I was like, I do like Ramondre. I do like Najee, obviously. I don't know why I would have went Warren over those guys, but we were pretty strong on running back. So with Tyler Warren, we come back to DeAndre Swift. I will admit something. Swift was auto. I did not hate it. It looking at those next 10 picks, I don't love anybody in there. And the guy that I would have picked was Bigsby. And I got him in the 11th. I like pairing those ambiguous rooms. one, both of them are going to be good, right? Like the Jacksonville head coach ended up having 2 good running backs in Tampa. He'll do the same thing. Like, I think both of them could easily, especially if one, who cares if they're both good, they're going to be fine at 9 and 11 or 8 and 11, wherever we drafted them. But if one goes down, the other one could be elite, so.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I still, for whatever reason, I've been big into Rachaad White this year, and I have this feeling that that Liam Cohen's going to go out and trade for Rachaad White either before or after the draft, and he's going to be the second, back. So maybe that's to pair with Bigsby, or maybe it's to pair with Etienne. I also think that, and I told you, the one thing I said before I left, I said, make sure you get Bashal Tutin no later than the 11th round. And of course, there's the 11th round comes and go, and you take Tank Bigsby instead.
You said no later than the 12th round. And I did say I was going to start looking in the 11th, and I should have taken him in the 11th. I got distracted there a little bit. And like I said, I wanted Bigsby when I autoed Swift. So then I looked at that as like a win, had to take Bigsby. And look at, he was 3 picks from coming back at us there. He went at 138. We had 141. I got our first quarterback at J.J. McCarthy. We come back with Stafford. We get Wicks.
Boy Darnold.
Wicks, get our boy Darnold. Fannin Jr. So, and then back who you like. I know you like, that was like kind of like my nod to you.
First
there
flavor of the week. Right.
Yeah, your first flavor of the week. I gave you a little nod there. I was hoping that tight end wouldn't run that dry in that round, but look at right after I picked back, it's Gesicki, Theo. You hate Higbee, but whatever. We had Stafford, I would have probably clicked on Higbee. So Noah Gray is where I end up there, and then last 2 picks, Jalen Naylor, because we have McCarthy and Dianami Brown, who that's a win in the 20th round, right? Like that's a W this week.
Sure.
So, big question is this worth your $5 investment? Do you think this is this an analytics for the nerds team, or is this a Louis G team? I'll give you that option right now.
I've burned $5 on worse things, but I think I'm going to pass on this one. But if we had Bashal Tutin, I think I would have.
Whoa! Wow!
I'm just kidding.
Can't wait till this is
it's
the
a fine
winner.
team. It's a fine team. I agree though. I just personally, every time I do a draft and I'm in the early positions, I'm like, fuck. Like I really don't want to do it. I like getting anywhere from like 8 to 11. I hate getting shut out at 12 when you don't get any of those wide receivers, but it's tough being in the front of the board, I think, this year, at least early drafts.
I'm 50. Well, and then this and switch. I'm 55 in so far, and I've only gotten one number one. That's pretty insane, right? Like I try to figure out the math on that, and I looked up how to do percentages and man, can I tell you how bad that experiment went for like 2 hours. I was multiplying like when you multiply numbers so big and then it's like to the 6 and whatever. And I was like, and I'm dividing it by like numbers that seemed bigger. And I was like, well, these percentages don't seem right. I wanted to see how unlikely it is to have only gotten one pick of anything. It doesn't need to be the number one pick. Whatever out of the 12 picks, how unlikely is it only to have one of those numbers through 55 drafts? And man, whatever I found, let me just tell you, was not the math I was looking for. I needed who was that dude from The Beautiful Mind? I needed Russell Crowe to fucking come help me out because it was brutal.
Wait, how many drafts? You said 55?
I've done 55 drafts. And I've only got one 12. Number one. No.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 50. You guys know.
Oh, 55 times 12 just divided by
that number, and then you only got it once. So you're just moving.
I don't think it works that way. But let me see.
I'm so disappointed that nobody just got my reference right there. You guys don't watch I Think You Should Leave? You don't know what that is?
No. Oh. No, sorry.
All right. Well, somebody hopefully that was watching this, please. Yes, it's Tim Robinson's character on I Think You Should Leave, but I hope somebody knew what I was talking about there. I'll look for the comments.
That's what it was. That is what it is. It's that simple, I think, right? 1 divided by 666. Would that be it? And that is
1 out of, yeah.
0.01% that I haven't. So I don't think that's right.
I'm,
I don't think that's right. I don't
It's-
know. We're gonna if anybody out there knows how to do
you ask
math.
Grok or something, or one of these AI sites.
Yeah, wait. You said
because they're gonna ask for my social security number. I'm
Wait,
gonna
time
take
out.
my job.
You
How
don't
many-
have to
how
give
many
it to him, Lou. You can just say no.
55 drafts.
Yeah,
Times
I did
12.
55 drafts times 12.
So
And I've only
you
got-
had a 1 out of 660.
6.
Yeah.
But okay, but 1 out of 666. But then if you divide that, that's how you get your percentage, which is like 0.001%.
Wait, hold on. Wouldn't it just be 1 divided by 12? Because there's 12 spots. You have a
Yep.
1 in 12 chance times 55 drafts. So that would be
Right.
4.5. So you should expect to get it or your rate is you get it 4.58% of the time.
Like
Does that sound
4
about
or
right?
5 out of 100.
Oh my god, this
You're like
is the
5%.
best conversation we've ever had on this podcast.
Or 1 out of 660 spots. You get
Our poll this week should just be whose
that's our
numbers were
poll.
right.
Dude,
Whose
that's our
math
poll.
was correct on this.
So I just want to know. I'm gonna put it out there. We'll tweet it out and see if
Isn't
anybody's
it
got the right answers.
0.0015? Because it's 1 divided by 660. Because if it's 55 times
Yes.
12, so then it's 1 divided into 660, which is 0.001515.
Yep. I think that's it. But I don't know. I got it. My brain hurts.
I don't think I'm wrong.
All right, let's move on. We got 2 segments left.
Okay. Analytics are for the nerds, everyone. All right, let's keep going. So we're gonna do the flavor of the week. This is where we all say our flavor of the week. So Ryan, what is your flavor of the week?
All right, so my first flavor of the week was Jack Besh. He's still hanging around the 19th round, 18th, 19th round in best ball drafts. Easy snag at the end of drafts. Louis gave me a nod, taking him in our big board last week. I'm going to give you another late round flyer. I'll work my way up to some of the bigger name guys, but I love the availability of the late round tight end that you think is going to hit, because tight end is a great position to not invest early in drafts and then just throw a couple darts late, or maybe do, a hero tight end build. My tight end flavor of the week is Mason Taylor. So I am drafting probably way too much of this guy, but I expect him to be either a first or likely second round pick. And just the buzz about him, I think is really strong. You hear a couple of things about this draft class. You hear that the strengths of the class are in running back and tight end. And whenever you hear that, I just kind of make a mental note of that, because in the late rounds of the rookie draft, or the late rounds of the best ball drafts, that's the rookies, or those positions are the ones I'm targeting for rookies. So he had a really, by all accounts, a good combine, really smooth runner. He's very athletic. He's only 20 years old. So teams are going to potentially, invest a high pick in him and then hopefully roll him out right away. And he's a big slot tight end, so he's more of a receiving tight end, less of a blocker. And if the team has the right package of plays, maybe he hits year one, a la Kyle Pitts. So,
all right, great flavors, plural, I think. So, my flavor of the week is my skin, which is I'm sick with possibly a low grade fever. So it's very dewy, shiny and healthy looking. So again, sorry for the coughing and the appearance, but man, look at how hydrated when your body is boiling at 101 to 102. And it is.
Wait, is that just from drinking all the water that you've had to drink, or is that just boiling from the inside?
I'm drinking like Airborne, or this is like vitamin C. So yeah, so it's just no. This is I'm on some sort of steroid to make my self better. From my doctor, it's not like anabolic. It's just I hope the water leaves your lungs. Like that's where I'm at right now. But man, look at this. I've never done Botox. I've this is so good. Look at that. All right.
I wish I could feel that comfortable about my skin.
Yeah, this is no foundation, ladies, if you're watching. All right. Listeners, you're missing out on my great skin. Louis, what is who is your flavor of the week?
All right. So yeah, each week, Ryan's going to talk about football, but I'm going to always talk about my latest like fling. And the first week we did this, I was like, why am I doing it this week? I've been just hanging out in the winter and so I've been on sabbatical a little bit. And so I've been trying to, I played around with the dating apps again for the first time for a couple days. We talked about the whole rose thing, like who should I give roses to? It's not working. So I've been kind of honing in lately. But the other day, little stoned, right? Little hitting the little pen, and I get a like from this really cute girl on social media on Facebook, right? And I was like, ooh, who's this? And I was like, I don't know this person, because I'm so popular. I have a lot of followers that I don't know who they are necessarily. I don't know this girl. So I don't know. I'm not sitting here and I'm not lying. I don't know either way. She could have added me. I could have added her. I don't know how we became Facebook friends. I go down the rabbit hole, you click on the profile. She's going to show rock shows by herself, or one was like with her parents. And I was like, okay, girl, like you're out there. She's got a daughter. I got a daughter. I'm like, all right, girl. So like, I'm kind of falling for her, through the virtual world. I was like, I see you. You don't know that I see you. And this is a little weird because I don't know you, but what's up, girl? And then I saw that you were a mutual friend. So I thought it'd be fun to play a little 20 questions. Yeah, you, Ellie. Sorry, not Ryan. You were a mutual friend. And I thought it would be fun, one, to play 20 questions to see if you could think of who I am talking about. And then two, if we guess, maybe you could hook it up,
Okay. Okay.
All right. First question.
I guess my first question is this person age appropriate?
Yes.
All right.
I yes.
Okay, so she's over 17. Okay. So it's not thankfully it's not my niece. Okay, good.
First question. Not your niece.
My niece is safe.
It's bad that you had to ask that, but yep. Totally understand as well.
Okay. Was she seen at comedy shows?
I don't know. Oh, I actually this is so creepy. I shouldn't know this much about her. Will say that I know that she has attended a comedy show recently through my rabbit hole, but she has nothing to do with the comedy scene as we know it, you and I.
Okay.
But I did recently see that she was at a comedy show as I stalked her page for a little
bit. Okay. Was she mutual friends with anyone else that I know and you know?
Ooh, that's a good question. I can't figure that out. I'm on the page now, and there's not a mutual friends thing, so I won't be able to answer that. I'm sorry. We won't count that as one of your questions, but you're 2 questions deep.
Oh shit. Does she have this is like guess who? Does she have dark hair or light hair?
Latest picture, dark-ish.
Dark.
Dirty blondish.
Oh, that's light to me. Does it look like this color?
It looks no, not that. It's like brownish, like a light brown, like a dark, like an auburn.
I just want to give a shout out to if anyone who's listening who's in the.
I hope she is. That's all.
It is anyone that's just a sketch artist, and they're like when a guy describes a woman, they're like, I don't know, like not a lot of makeup, and it's just someone who's like it's like in drag makeup.
So bad.
It's men are sometimes you're really bad with describing things. Hair color, for example.
Yeah.
Or saying curly hair.
You do have to remember, all I know about her is on her Facebook page. It's all the info I have of her. So
does her dad work security at the Sabres game?
Ooh, I don't know.
I would say, Corey, and we know you know this.
No, I don't know this. I would say no based off of his age because there is a picture of her dad. But I would say no based off her age.
Do you have white hair?
Yes,
does her first initial start with a K?
Yes.
Okay. Just
say the last. Say the last initial.
It's Kristen. I'm assuming, right?
Yes, but say the last initial.
Oh, wait, not wait. Give me a second.
You probably have it.
H.
Yeah.
Yep, beautiful. She's such. You want to be Eskimo? Oh wait, so she literally is also friends with
There's
our.
no way you're gonna get this. What? Go
You want
ahead.
to know who else? Okay, she's also really. Her sister is John Shuda's.
Whoa,
her
whoa,
best-
whoa, whoa, whoa! Be careful with all the information we're
Oh.
getting out here.
Good. So
Okay,
you should have
real
another
quick.
mutual friend, and
Okay.
that person should be, and then someone who's also in our world, the comics, invited her over, and he thought he was like, oh, and he used me as the middle person too. He's like, oh, you know, Allie, and like,
Dude,
he's like, yeah, and
this girl's gonna be like, "What is up with this alley girl?"
I will be on, like, she is so beautiful. Like, it's like her pictures
So-
are what she looks like in real life. Like, she's like, and yeah, she's very, very pretty.
Oh.
And she likes, I think she has a thing for comics. And South
So,
Buffalo's a
I'll-
little trashy boy. It's cute.
Yeah, I'm not from South Buffalo, but yeah, she's she's an Irish girl. I'll say that, and we're giving out a lot now. She's an Irish girl. So
She's in her
I would
40s.
figure. What's that?
She's in her 40s.
Yeah, I did see
Two
that.
kids. You are so.
I missed one kid. I missed one
you
kid.
missed an entire child who's like.
I missed an entire child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the parents. I was
has
there for
one-
mom and I was there for mom and dad.
And the
I do
daddy's a
realize she had two
sweetheart
parents.
at KeyBank Center. Best. Like a
Wow.
retired-
I cannot believe you did that. That's pretty impressive. I can't wait for you to call her for me later. It's gonna be so great.
I can't wait that someone else is going to use me to hook up with someone. I'm like such a yenta. This is great.
It's great that this girl now, like anytime she gets a call from Allie, she's like, yes, another date. I got it lined up.
Yeah.
Every time she starts looking
100%.
forward to the call.
Dude, that's
can
so
I-
incredible.
Without
you know
giving
what
out
you
this
need-
person's name, the person that I know that I was like, oh, I know Allie.
Yeah.
They came over. They had a date. I think there was like a smooching, a little stay over kind of thing. And then she was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work out. And that person's so mad that like if I like her photo, so I'm like, what? I still can be friends with her. And that just means our friend has a small
Whoa.
Small heart
Me,
to love.
you're just throwing out stuff. But also, oh shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, that this is what you should do is tell her that you'll comp her some tickets for our show because you want her to go see you. You're like, hey, come to this comedy show. I'll comp you. And then I'll give you my 2 comp tickets that I've already promised to somebody, but fuck them, they ain't as hot. And so we'll do that. And then she'll be like, who was that dude that like opened for you? It was fucking hilarious. And
They're
then
all
I'd be
giving-
like, hey, my name's Louie.
I think they're giving me 6.
What's that?
I think they're giving me 6.
6. Oh, sorry. I only got
If
2.
you want those, if you want
I only
those to
got
give
2.
to her.
Yeah, I mean, just do it up, dude.
I'm
You
gonna
have
make-
to do. I can't be a weirdo. Hey, I see that we're both friends with Allie. I'm not our other mutual friend. Not that desperate. All right, we have to do our draft.
Okay, let's.
We'll talk about this later. And if you're listening, Kristen H, love you. I love you.
Very pretty. She's very, very, very pretty.
All right, go ahead.
Am I like
Tell-
I'm like the troll friend that's like, yeah, you're a hot friend, and they're like Iago to everyone.
That's so
Aladdin.
great.
Okay, so let's do a comeback story draft. Do you want to give us why we're doing comeback story?
You know, I was a Darnold fan all year last year. I thought about that a little bit. I really only thought about that today, to be honest. When I picked comeback story draft, I have no idea why I picked it. I don't know. I'm gonna say that it was because I was really big on Sam Darnold last year, and we'll go with that. But biggest comeback story draft. Here's the order. It's gonna be Ryan 1. Me 2, Allie 3. Man, Allie, I think you're like running like a 4 week in a row with the third pick.
Yeah,
But one week we forced that. This one has been legit. So go ahead, Rye. Number 1 pick, comeback story draft. What do you got?
First pick's got to be the comeback. Bills, Oilers.
I knew you were gonna pick it.
I mean, why would it not be? It's literally called the comeback. I understand that there are other really good comebacks in NFL history and in playoff games, including a Super Bowl. But I'm gonna just take the comeback because I'm a homer. I don't care. I'm not
I
afraid
love
to
it.
admit it.
I
That's
love it.
fine. My number one is going to be one that I would be scared about Allie taking. I don't know. Probably could be a later round pick, but I'm going Robert Downey Jr. Is there a
Oh,
better comeback story in as celebrity like life? No, I don't think so. He is. That's great. Near death, drug addict, comes back and dude's just fucking killing it.
yeah.
And like an awesome person now too. It sounded like he just, like he's really changed his life. He's good. He's cool. I love it.
Sobriety.
Robert Downey Jr.
Both great picks. My number one pick is the great Simone Biles. I love that she worked on her mental health and just killed it in this past Summer Olympics. And my number two comeback story or comeback draft is the comeback. I know you are, but what am I?
That's really good. Dude, that's so good. That's such a good answer. That's a good one.
I couldn't come up with anything like outside the box like that with this one, and that's a good one.
That's a good one. I'm gonna do so. I did the celebrity one and this thing. This is gonna be more of a movie thing too, but it's a fictional one. I'm gonna go with Jon Snow. He got killed during spoiler alert if anybody's not, but he gets killed and the red dress woman, the red woman, what was she called, brings him back and he ends up crushing the rest of the show and becoming everyone's favorite character. So Jon Snow, what a comeback. Dude's fucking the shit. King of the North. That was in a very exciting.
Can you beat that, Ryan?
I think I can. I'm going to take LeBron when he's on the Cavs and he comes back from being down 3-1 in the finals against the Warriors. That's just like, I know, yeah, of course, Ryan's taking the sports one, big surprise. But listen, it's just like, even I know, Buffalo and Cleveland are close. We got a lot of similarities, but just watching that as a sports fan was so cool. Like that was incredible. So that's my next pick. And then I'm going to go with, I got a couple of ones. I got a couple of choices here. I think I'm going to go with the comeback of Curb Your Enthusiasm when it was off for a while.
That's good.
Came back. I mean, that's just such a great show. So
that's good. Is it?
It's a comeback.
Did it come back? Did it come? No, 100%. It's a comeback. My question to you guys, because I never even really finished it because I didn't feel it did. Did it come back the same way? To me, it didn't come back as good. I feel I never got through the first. Yeah, you think the comeback was great too?
I thought it was good. Yeah, because he's just a good writer. He knows how to keep it up to time. Yeah, there was a couple. It wasn't like consistently like all the the old episodes were really good, but they had a couple with the new stuff that they were just brilliant. Really well written.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, I always try to be funny or stupid or whatever. I guess I didn't want to do sports at all because I knew Ryan would have 4 sports ones, and I guess we are a sports podcast. The one that means the most to me, the one that I feel like I was like most jacked about, the most emotional about, was Mario Lemieux's comeback after he got Hodgkins and was gone for like 2 years and came back. Like, to me, I've been fighting this argument a lot lately because of the whole Ovechkin thing and stuff. So that argument comes up and people start talking about the best ever. It's always been Lemieux to me. It's always been Lemieux is better than Gretzky. And if he never got Hodgkins, I think he would have went down as the best player to ever play. He's still obviously in that conversation, but I just remember when he came back and he was fucking like, people forget like that 2-3 years he came back like dominant. Like had like 120 point seasons in an era that wasn't happening when he came back. So that was really cool. I remember the game. Like I remember the aura around that game. So yeah, Mario Lemieux.
All right. My draft for the best comeback story, number 3 is wide leg jeans. That's back, like the fit. Not flattering, but they look so cute when you're about to purchase them in the little image. And then my 4th, I'm going to go with Brendan Fraser. I just think when he, everyone, Door of the Jungle, everything that he was in the 90s and 2000s. Just amazing films. And and then took some time off. And then when he came back with the Mummy, when he did The Whale, which is a great film, and he won the Academy Award. But man, that guy, and then you hear him in interviews, and he just seems like the kindest soul. And I don't know, I just love that man.
I think it's a good one for sure. All right, I'm gonna go with. Remember that time Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mudhens won the Bourbon Bowl? Fucking Bobby Boucher coming back in the fucking Waterboy and winning the game. That one is definitely one of my best comebacks ever.
All right, hat tip to you on that. My last pick is the return of College Football 25, the video game, NCAA football.
Yes, that's good.
That was so. I mean, it's just because nostalgia. That's what it does to you. But like, it's never as good as it was the first time. But like, it's still pretty cool that it's back now. I was also thinking Pizza Hut lunch buffets, but they're not the same as they used to be back then. Anyways, I don't even know if they still have them the same. So.
No, you know what the best part of the old Pizza Hut lunch where I used to eat the little, remember like the little croutons, the little fucking stringy croutons that were always in them? Maybe that was a Wendy's. I don't know. I feel like, sir, this is a Wendy's. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, pizza. I don't know if they came back the same because you can't even they're all just like little shops now, right? Aren't they? I don't think there's actual sit-in Pizza Huts anymore.
Yeah.
Is there?
Isn't there one on?
Yeah, they have sit-in Pizza Huts now. I just don't know. They definitely don't have like the book clubs like they used to when you used to if you used to go in for the free pan pizza.
The personal pan, yeah, they're doing that. I think they're trying to. Yeah.
Oh my God, I got to get back there. That should have been my last pick, but that's all right. I'll stick with college football.
No, it's well, everyone. Unfortunately, Ryan keeps talking about sports on this podcast.
Someone's got to do it.
That was a great draft. Excellent choices. One that I was going to also say was banned books, because now those books are being brought up and being read again. So I kind of like that. But any other hot takes?
I think my only one is my comeback once fucking Kristen H fucking comes through.
She's so pretty.
I'm gonna be on the comeback. Let's go. Everything's coming. Everything's looking up, Louis.
So. No, it's good. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. And this is Analytics are for the nerds.